still she's an Umbridge thrill seeker, queen of the shelf, finding Dolores in pieces of herself. Rules above truth, charm over choice, every thrill a silent voice. So raise a teacup to the seeker, so thrilled in a world of kittens and punishments fulfilled. Yes, she's an Umbridge thrill seeker.
Hi, welcome to the Umbridge office and the Umbridge Thrill Seeker channel. I'm finally doing the video on all of the Umbridge items that have been found in Wizarding Trunk boxes. Now, how did I figure out all of them? Well, I keep all of my little cheat sheets in this Harry Potter binder I got from Pottery Barn Teen. When you open it, you can see that there is a page protector, and each page protector has a cheat sheet. So I'd looked through all of those and found them, and then there were a few boxes I didn't get at the very beginning, so I watched videos on those and made sure I got all of the items to the best of my ability. So now we're going to start looking at them. The very first Umbridge item in a Wizarding Trunk box was this I Will Have Order bookmark, woodmark. They called it woodmark. And I didn't get this box, but I did get this woodmark from Peter Kenneth, the Potter collector, when he had one of his sales. I think it came in a white envelope with like a pink cat seal. I didn't get that, but I did get the actual woodmark, and I like it a lot. You can always hear that I will have order in her accent when you think of that in your head for sure. And this was in October 2019, and the very first Year 5 box. There's been another Year 5 box, but this was the first Year 5 box. I love Year 5 boxes because they're usually, for sure, you'll find Umbridge items, whereas the other boxes that you may or may not. The second item found was this 100% That Witch candle. You can see it, Inflammare candle, it says on the top. And that was also in the Year 5 box in October of 2019. This third item was something I never could get the authentic one. Paper items are really hard to find. Sometimes they're never for sale because people won't put them on eBay or anywhere because they think there's no market for them and they just toss them. So what I did was I looked at the image of the letter from, I believe, a Cherry Wells video, and I redid it myself. So this looks pretty much identical to the one that was in the Year 5 box also in October of 2019. It is a letter to the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge, about Harry Potter from Dolores Umbridge, the Senior Undersecretary to the Minister and Hogwarts High Inquisitor. Now, there were a couple little typos in the original letter. I did fix those, but in general, it looks just like that. If anybody knows where an authentic one is, like one that came out of the Wizarding Trunk, I'd love to have it. But this was really the only thing that I could not find, so I made my own replica of it. Okay, number 4 was in the Headmaster Special box in June of 20, and it was a black quill. Really pretty black quill with a black feather, and it came with a little card that says, "Deep down, you know you deserve to be punished." Now, I had to buy this on eBay. In fact, I had to buy 2 because I bought one, found out it was not actually the Wizarding Trunk, and then found this one. And it didn't come with a little card, so I just looked at the pictures of one on other people's videos when they unboxed the box, and I made my own little version. So this is the quill. And the quill came and the feather was in terrible condition, so I put a new beautiful black feather on it to replace the torn up ugly looking one. So that was number 4. Now from this point forward, I got all the boxes, so everything, there's no question about anything from this point forward. The next item was this beautiful kitten brooch, and it was from the Defense and Alchemy box in June of 21. Now, I kind of like this because it's not really the brooch setting on the back. It's actually the kind of pin that you'd put on a pin board or a lapel. And I like those because those are easier to put on your pin board. It's not the exact kitten that's on Umbridge items in the movie, but it's close. And of course, everybody would recognize the vibe. So that was item number 5. Item number 6 came in the Mischief Maker Special in September 21. See, you never know when you're going to get an Umbridge item in the Wizarding Trunk box. And this one was the Juggling Witch Pen. Isn't that cute? It's kind of a take on the Cycling Umbridge, but she's juggling. So I really like that one. Another pen. And then we had item number 7, which was in the Villains and Dark Artifacts box in September of 21. And it was the first kitten plate, porcelain kitten plate that Wizarding Trunk ever made. It's really cute. She's got the cat has a tiara on. She's sitting on a pink chair with the pink flowers around it. Really pretty plate. Nothing on the back. But that was the first cat plate that they did. All right. Then the next item was a 3 Witches pin, and that was in that same box, Villains and Dark Artifacts, in September 21. And you have Rita Skeeter, Umbridge, and Bellatrix. And it says on it, I really do hate children. You know, I really do hate children. Now, I'm not really sure why they put that on there with Bellatrix and Rita. Maybe they don't like children too. I don't know. It's a saying that's definitely by Umbridge. I see at the top it has the S for, I assume, Slytherin. But of course, we don't know what house Rita Skeeter's in. But if I had to guess, I'd probably guess Slytherin too. Although some people said they would pick Ravenclaw for her. But I'm a Ravenclaw and take offense to that. I think Rita Skeeter was Slytherin. So that was the next item. Then in the tournaments and event spots in October 21, there was this truth serum. And it says, this serum was created to relax the user to the point when they will be unable to lie. So anyway, so it's really neat. I like it because it has a dropper. If you're trying to give somebody 3 drops of truth serum, you would definitely want a dropper, not just guzzling it out of it. So this is item number 9, truth serum, tournaments and events, October 21. Now this one is Umbridge adjacent. Doesn't say anything about Umbridge, but you know how everybody called Umbridge a toad. So saying she was toad-like in the book, this is a toad examination. I guess kind of like an owl examination. And it was in the years 1-7 box in February of 22. And of course with the word toad on it, I would think that it would definitely be something associated with Umbridge, even if it doesn't specifically say it. The next item was in the Those We Love to Hate box in December of 22, and it is an Eye Squad pen. Now in the book, the Inquisitorial Squad pen is described with just having a big eye on it. So that's kind of neat that they made one with a big eye, and looks very different from the one sold at Universal, but I kind of like it. So this of course is normally on my Inquisitorial Squad pen board, but that is the one that they came out with. And then in the Those We Love to Hate, there were 3 more items in November 22, all decoration ornaments. And that started a big collection of these. There's so many, you could practically decorate a small tree with them. There was the number decoration number 45, has the chain so you can hang it on your tree or on your wall. And it says no trolls permitted in the dungeon. Now you only got 1 per box, but I went back and bought all 3 that could appear in a box. So it depended on which box you got, which one you got. And I've done that every time they've had more than 1. I go back and buy the other. This is decoration 39, and it says any student in possession of an autofill quill will be severely punished. Sounds like something that Umbridge or Filch would say. And then in that same box, there was decoration number 72, which says no music to be played during study hours. So all three of those were in the Those We Love to Hate box in November of 22. And also in the Those We Love to Hate, and of course Umbridge would have been in Those We Love to Hate box in November 22, there was the second cat plate, which I think is kind of the cutest one. Has two kittens sitting there in a box with pink paper or bows or ribbons or something with pink flowers around it. Once again, has nothing on the back, but it's just really cute and pretty. That was their second cat plate, and that was in November 22. Then we had in the Magical Authority box in December 22, we had Truth Serum again, but it's different. It's not one by Alchemy of the Skin, and it said it was clear, but to me it has sort of a bluish tint. So that is the Truth Serum, and of course, you know, Umbridge used Truth Serum. It said in the description of this on a cheat sheet, said something about it was cleared, less detectable or something. Of course, she was wanting to give this and probably gave this to students without permission from the ministry, which was in that original letter to the Minister of Magic about how she wanted to use Truth Serum on the students. So it's all kind of connected. Then in that same box, the Magical Authority in December 22, there was magical documents. And what was in that and what is on this makes me think it's very much Umbridge. It is a blood report. It has a Magical Registration Commission form on blood status. You know, she was doing all these investigations on people. There was a wand registration, I guess, to take away wands of people that were not full blood. And there was even a Magical Registration Commission with a family tree. And this one's stamped all over it, counterfeit, meaning that probably who did it, she was accusing them of counterfeiting their family tree. So that was also in that Magical Authority box, December 22. Then in February 23, there was a professor's box. And even though this is technically not Umbridge, it's Umbridge related, which is Madame Moody's eye. And it has this sticky, you can pull this off and put it on your door, just like Umbridge did. She took Madame Moody's eye and put it on her Ministry of Magic door. So that's why I say this one is an Umbridge item. In that same professor's box, there was our third kitten plate. It's a little white kitten with some gray and pink flowers around it on top of some pink bedding, it looks like. This one's different because it's kind of ruffly, whereas the others were kind of flat. Also doesn't have anything on the back, but that was in the professor's box, I guess, to represent Umbridge. Then in the Wizarding Winter box in December 23, we had two more decorations. We had decoration 88, and 88 was Bewitched Snowballs Not Permitted on School Grounds. I'm sure that was because of Fred and George, possibly, you think. And then also in that box, you may have gotten a different one in December 23, which is decoration number 63, which says no kissing under the mistletoe. Not sure who was doing that. Magical decoration 46 was an underrated magical subjects in December of 24. And it says non-magical studies are hereby removed from curriculum. So I guess they wouldn't have a Muggle studies then. And there was only this particular decoration, no others in that box, no alternative ones. Then we came to the castle box, which had two declarations, which Umbridge calls us Proclamations. 42, suits of armor in the castle are not to be bewitched. And then 66, all owls will be examined for messages upon entry to the castle. And that was not all, because when we got to the after the castle, we had a truth serum bottle pen in the potions storeroom in August of 24. And we had this truth serum with a little lid that goes up and down. Really cool. You can see the features on it as I tilt it in and out of the light. After that, in the Wizarding Winter box in November of 25, we had 2 more decorations, the final 2 that we've gotten so far. This one says enchanted ornaments, bewitched baubles, and singing decorations are forbidden. Boy, I think Umbridge was a Scrooge. What do you think? Then decoration number 50, all students' possessions are subject to search and inspection. So we had that one. And since that time, we haven't had any more. I always put these on my Umbridge Christmas tree, which you'll see in the Umbridge office starting about Thanksgiving time, late November. That's when I usually put it up. And then it stays up till Valentine's. After Christmas, it's changed into a pink Valentine's tree. So all of these are great things to put on there. They're not Christmassy looking, so they can stay on there all the way through Valentine's. Then we get into 2026 this year. So some of these things you probably have seen recently if you've been watching my videos. Number 28 is a Defense Against the Dark Forces bookmark, and it was in the House Pride with a Twist box, February 26. And the reason that I think it's Umbridge adjacent is because you can see 2 cats on there. I don't think any of the other dark arts professors were interested in cats. So I think this is kind of Umbridge-y. At least that's my opinion. And then there was this absolutely fabulous thing that was in the Order Year 5 box in June of 26, which is the Pink Witch, which actually came in this nice little pink sack and had pink cat head and pink, I guess these are kind of like diamonds or something looking things, pens. So you can use her as a pen cushion, which is really cool. Or if you hate Umbridge, you could use her as a voodoo doll, I guess. So really, really cute. I love this. It sits on my Umbridge shelves. One of the best Umbridge items. And in that same Year 5 box, there was a cat cup and saucer, and there were 2 different ones. So I got one, and then I went back and bought the other one so that I would have both. So this is the one that I got, which has kind of a Maine Coon looking cat on it, and then the matching saucer. And then I don't remember where I got it, maybe on eBay, I'm not sure, on the Wizarding Trunk, I'm not sure where I got it. There is the other one, which is a cat with a pink beret and a pink bow and polka dots, and then a matching saucer. So that's pretty much all of the Umbridge items to date. I'm making this video before I do anything with the quarterly box that's supposed to come tomorrow, which the quarterly box that's tomorrow, what is it? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, but you'll see the video tomorrow once I post it. And it's after the Year 6 box. I did post that one. That was the one where I won a year's worth of bi-monthly boxes and got that nice Felix Felice's potion in the little trunk. That was so exciting. I was so surprised. So it was after that. So maybe there'll be something Umbridge in Year 7, because Umbridge is in that book and in that movie. And maybe there might be something in the box tomorrow I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see, but as of today, these are all the Umbridge and Umbridge adjacent items. So what are my favorites and least favorites? Well, this is absolutely my favorite. I love this. This is so cute. I think it's unique. I don't have anything like it. I do like the Proclamations. I just have like so many of them. And yeah, I don't think there's ever an Umbridge item I don't like. So I like everything. What's your favorite? Comment below if you're aware of all these things and if you have a favorite out of the batch that I showed. And that's pretty much the conclusion of the video. If you could give it a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Still struggling to get my subscriber numbers up, even though I get a lot of views. I don't think most people that view subscribe for whatever reason. I don't know why, because it's free and we don't bother you or anything. If you don't turn notifications on, you don't even get notified. So there's nothing, means nothing, means everything to me, and really takes no effort on your part. So I would appreciate it if you could give me a subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and that concludes this video. I'll see you tomorrow when I get my quarterly box. Hopefully it will come tomorrow. It was supposed to come Monday, and then it said Tuesday, so I'm hoping Wednesday's the day. Bye-bye.
Oh, she's an Umbridge seeker, wand-waving antiquer, teacup hoarder, rule enforcer, pink lipstick streaker. In a cardigan shrine, she's feeling just fine with 1,000 Dolores dolls in a perfect line. Power trip posters, ministry pins, a closet full of peek where the madness begins. Don't cross her rules or she'll raise that plaque. I must not tell lies in red, almost black.